We just completed 7 days of absolutely no TV, and here's how we feel and what we've learned.
If you're new here, my name is Jessy.
And my name is Bee.
And we help heal women from the inside out through things like breathwork, energy work, and conscious coaching. So if that sounds like a good fit for you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. And yeah, welcome to another episode of Lattes and Lessons. So no TV for 7 days. Here's how it's been, okay? If you've never done a TV cleanse before, it can be a little challenging, especially if that's like a way that you tend to decompress. That's how I used to be in my corporate job, or during my stint in the military. I would get off work and like the first thing I'd want to do is just crash out in front of the couch for hours and hours, thinking that I'm relaxing and resting, but you're totally not. It's just a form of escapism, really, truly, guys. So there are other ways to unwind and decompress after work.
Yeah. And that's what we've been like exploring in the 7 days. You know, we've done stuff like this before, but I don't think we've ever gone like 7 consecutive days. And I'll speak for myself. Like, I was similar to Jess, like for years and years and years. Like, that was my way of decompressing. That was my way of resting. Typically after work, or even when I was in school, like after school, what do? I come home and like I turn the TV on. And even in my family system, like as I've been spending more time with my family, I can see like there's always a TV on. And even thinking back to like childhood, like when we ate dinner, we didn't really sit at a table. It was like we kind of did our own things, and like everyone was in front of a TV. So I'm trying not to judge it. Like, it's not good or bad. It just is. But I just want something a little bit different for like my life and my values. Like, I want to be more present. I've been feeling like I do have like that addictive part to the TV, to a screen. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, right?
Yeah, I think I totally. And I feel like I grew up in a similar way. Like there was just like a TV's kind of always on as background noise, because I feel like a lot of people are uncomfortable with the quiet and just being with your thoughts and just sitting with your thoughts. And I think that used to be me too. I used to be so afraid of being alone. And I remember the first time I was ever like alone in my adult life. Yeah, I remember like I couldn't really like clean my house or like be in my house without a TV on.
Right.
Like just background noise happening.
Even if you're not watching it.
Even if I wasn't watching it, didn't care what was on, just had something on. But my like comfort show is King of Queens, and I'm the one that put you on.
Who else watches that?
Who else watches the King of Queens? Because I put her on and she loves that show too.
It's
like
so
a comfort
funny.
show.
It's very comforting. It's not high cortisol. So that's the other thing. Like, how many of you are watching reality shows, you know, Real Housewives, Bravo? Like, I used to love all of that. I stopped watching Housewives a couple years ago because I just noticed, like, as I was watching these shows, my body was so tense and I would clench my jaw, and it was just like not good for my nervous system. But we do still watch some reality shows, and we had just been wanting like a cleanse because it's been like we've been noticing, oh, maybe this is like not really good for my nervous system.
Well, I think the first thing that I noticed was better sleep.
Yeah.
Like better quality. Better quality sleep. I fall asleep so much faster, and I actually stay asleep, and I wake up feeling so much more rested. Whereas when I was watching TV, when we would watch TV like an hour before bed or up until we were going to go to bed, I would have such a hard time falling asleep, staying asleep, and then I would wake up feeling totally like shitty.
Oh, I'm so glad that you noticed that, because I remember talking to Jess about how like I felt really crappy if we watched like hours of TV right before bed and then waking up and feeling just like, if you're sensitive, you know what I'm talking about. So you know, like that clutter that you just feel like in your consciousness, like around your like head, in your like crown chakra area. Like if you're sensitive, you know what I'm talking about. That is gone. And that that's like one of the first things that I noticed with doing like this TV detox. It's the feeling that I used to get like when I would go out into nature. Like I was super stressed, then I'd go out into nature and I'd feel like everything like kind of lifting off of me. It's like a similar feeling that I have right now, which is really great.
I think the second thing that I noticed was, I don't know, just feeling like we had so much more time in the evenings, like so much more time for activities, so much more time, like quality time,
Yeah.
and just like being. Like there's nothing to do, there's nowhere to be. And also, this is just coming to me now, but we were kind of in a cycle or like a habit of watching TV while we ate dinner.
Yep.
And now there's been a shift to where we're like sitting at the counter, like on the bar stools. We just cooked dinner together.
Yeah.
And then we're enjoying it together, really tasting it. We're just like talking about our day. We're talking about how wonderful our life feels and how like, oh my God, we still have like 3 hours before we're going to bed. And like, it just feels really good to be in that space, to have all this time, whereas before it was like you're watching TV and then time just like zips by and you're like, whoa, I have no time. You know, I have no time for anything after work or after, you know, at the end of the day. And it's like, no, that you actually do. You can make time by canceling out the TV.
Yeah.
But
it definitely feels more spacious in regards to like our time for sure. Like, yeah, there's just like no pressure. Like I feel like sometimes if you're like, especially if you're like following a show or like you're into something and like you want to get through the episode. So you're like, okay, I have to do this and I have to watch this show. And it's like, you actually don't, you know? So like very much more spacious, and also like our connection, like Jess and I have connected so much more deeply in the last week than we have in like the past 8 months, I feel.
100%. Just that one small shift of just taking that out of the equation, taking the TV time out of the equation has created so much more quality time, intimacy, space, being with each other, and just like enjoying each other's company, like truly enjoying each other's company and not having a distraction going on, because TV truly is a distraction. And I don't think that I truly realized how addicting it was or is until we went over to Graham's house, B's grandmother's house, and my grandmother's house. And she had the TV on.
Yeah.
And I was like instantly, like my eyes zipped over to it. I was glued. And then thankfully my mother-in-law turned the TV off for our visit. But that was a moment where I was like, oh, wow, that totally just sucked me in. Like instantly.
Right.
Instantly. And like, I didn't even care what the show was. I didn't even care what was on, you know?
Right. And that's a good point, because, you know, I think that if you're like me, like when I start to notice these things, then I kind of get down on myself and I start to judge myself like, oh my God, I'm addicted to this thing. And like, this isn't even good for me. And I don't even care about these people. And like, why am I? But it's all by design. Like, they design shows and movies, all of that, to suck you in, social media to suck you in. It's all by design. They know our brains and our chemistry and our psychology more than we do, and they lure you in that way. So it's not your fault, but once you recognize it, it can be your responsibility to shift it if it's not feeling good for you.
Right. And, you know, I'm going to get a little like woo-woo here, but television, think about it, like sound it out. Tell a vision. Mind control. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say, all right? Television.
Yeah.
And like B was saying too, because she got me really hooked on The Real Housewives of New York. And we ended up abruptly stopping that show because of how awful we were feeling. Like, I remember getting so worked up over these people that I don't even know.
Yeah.
That I don't even know. And I, like, why do I care? Why do I care about these housewives of New York? Like, I don't, actually. I care more about my life, and it's all about redirecting that energy back to your life and what's actually going on in real life, in your life, not somebody else's reality, right?
Right. Yeah, and we have really been able to have more time to do just that. Like we've been doing like more joint meditations about like when we're, sort of idealizing, visualizing our dream life. Like all of that attention, all of that energy that has usually been like draining out into like whatever show we're watching, it's like being put back into us, and it just feels so nourishing. Like I feel like my life is so much richer and so much more, there's just so much more depth to it, and it's only been 7 days. Like
It's only
that's
been
really
7
not a
days.
lot of time.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of time if you like are a TV watcher every day like we used to be.
Right. And like we want to continue.
Yeah.
Yesterday was day 7.
Yep.
And we were just like, I remember looking at her and just being like, I want to go another week. And
Yeah.
I will probably want to go another week, and I will probably just like not watch TV for a while.
Yeah.
I just don't really feel a call or want to. And I
Right.
just feel, I just feel so much better.
Yeah. So, okay. So if you're watching this and you're like, no, I need my shows. I want to watch TV. I like the benefits that you're getting, but I don't want to watch my like I totally get that. Like this maybe not it's maybe not for everyone. So I'm just thinking like what can someone do to reap some of these benefits that we're getting? And I think we have a couple ideas.
A couple
right?
ideas, yeah. Something that you don't have to go cold turkey. Like we tend to be a little more, when we commit to something, we commit 100,000%. We're in it.
We're kind of extreme.
We're extreme. We're extreme. We did 60 days no sugar. We when we commit, we commit. But something that you could do is just set parameters around TV time. Maybe it's not, maybe it's like, okay, you get off work at 5, and it's like, okay, from 6 to 7:30. But after 7:30, this is a hard stop on TV. So that maybe gives you time for 1 or 2 episodes of something. So you're getting your fix, but it's not overtaking your whole evening routine. You have time to implement some other things.
Right. Time limit things. Like do that with your TV or phone, whatever. Like this can be applied to any screen. I know a lot of people are addicted to their phones, but I was more addicted to TV than
I don't know if there's any sort of thing for that. I think it's more of just a discipline. You could just set an alarm for your hard stop. Yeah, you could just set an alarm that's free,
Right. They might have stuff on different smart TVs depending on what you have.
Probably.
Make that commitment to yourself if that's important to you. You deserve to follow through with your commitments to yourself. You're worthy and deserving of that. The other thing, I don't think you said this, but not only just the limit, the time, but also not watching TV at least 2 hours before you go to sleep, because that light really does, I don't know what it does. There's science on it.
It's the blue light or something to do with the blue light.
Go read the science if that's important to you, but I know how it affects me personally in my experience. And when I see that light, even if it's an hour or half an hour before I go to bed, I will wake up in the middle of the night. I won't get as restful of sleep. So make sure that that's off at least, they say 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I notice a difference.
It will derail your circadian rhythm. You will not be able to get into a deep, good sleep, and you won't feel well rested.
It's true.
It's true. So.
Also, I have one more thing.
Go ahead.
Did you have one?
No.
Okay.
No.
The other thing is what type of content you're watching. So we are more consciously consuming these days. We didn't do a social media detox.
That's next.
I don't, honestly, I'm not relatable. I don't really scroll on social media. I mean, I've had phases and stuff, but I really didn't get on it. I feel really good. I'm good with that. I will consciously watch YouTube videos these days, but I don't get on Instagram and scroll anymore. It makes me feel really crappy. But consciously consume whatever it is on your screen. If it's TV, social media, whatever, make sure that it's conscious. Make sure that it's not just oh, I'm just mindlessly scrolling and I don't even care about what's going on. That's just why,
Right. Well, it truly is just, it's siphoning your energy. That's all it is. And I'm more relatable because I do get sucked into Instagram and Not so much on TikTok. We kind of steer clear of TikTok, but
Yeah, because
the
I see the lure of TikTok. That's why I
yeah,
stay away
it's
from TikTok
dangerous.
though, because I know that I would get sucked in. I started watching one
Mhm.
of those like live plant auctions. Or the tarot card readers, the psychics. Oh my, that is like a world that like I totally understand if you're in it. Whoo! Yeah, I can't get
Highly,
into
highly
that.
addicting. But yeah, social media cleanse for me is coming up, so
Stay
stay
tuned.
tuned. So
Yeah.
better sleep, more time for whatever you want in your life,
Mhm.
and more mental clarity, more space being cleared out, actually resting, and what
More
was the other thing?
connection with your partner and the people in
Yeah.
your life, just more
Mhm.
presence all around and having deeper, richer experiences that like
Mhm.
just make life magical.
Right, and just having more energy for you, more
Yeah.
energy for yourself and for your people that are in your life. And yeah, so quick, easy things, setting up those time parameters, hard stops. Okay, I'm not gonna, this is a boundary, I'm not watching TV past this time. Or, like B was saying, not watching, not having screen time, 1 to 2 hours, 1 hour being the bare minimum, but like really it should be 2 hours before bed. That's
Mm,
gonna, I feel like, be the most beneficial to anyone watching this. So
absolutely. So as always, take what you need, leave the rest, and go love yourself.